Hello everyone, my name is Kozotor and welcome to Plague Inc. Evolved. This is definitely not the third time I've tried to record this episode. My goodness. Right, so the first time I tried to record this episode, I got halfway through the game, looked over at my recording setup and realized I wasn't getting desktop audio because I am silly. And I'm like, okay, it's fine, I'll just go back and I'll start again, we'll record an episode from the beginning and restart everything, it'll be fine. So I'll go back and go to record it for the second time, thinking, right, this one will be better, this one will be okay. And if you see me keep glancing down, that's because I'm checking this little button down here, because the second time, I swear I clicked it. There's a little button that says start recording, and I apparently didn't click it. So there's an entire episode that I thought I'd been recording, but apparently it's just vanished into the ether. It's gone. It apparently, I swear I clicked that button. I swear I did. I went and checked my files, and nothing there. So I'm being a bit paranoid now. It is definitely recording. We are definitely recording. This is definitely going to be an episode. But my goodness, the troubles I've had trying to record this. So anyway, this is Plague Inc. Evolved. A game about taking over the world, or more accurately, wiping out humanity. You play a disease, and your goal is to kill everyone. Have I mentioned this game is a little bit morbid? Now, the type of disease that you have access to, there are a bunch of them. There's like the main game, official scenarios, custom scenarios, speedrun, all sorts of things. We're just going to go with the main game for now. And as I was saying, there are tons of different diseases to choose from. These ones are more familiar, as you would have heard of: bacteria, virus, and fungus. Then there's things like the Neurax worm, parasites, and prions. There's a necrovirus, which is like zombies. Nanovirus, like little mini bots, little robots that trying to kill the world. Bioweapons. Simian flu, which is like a Planet of the Apes sort of scenario, where you're actually, I believe you're playing the apes. I think I beat this one on my phone. I didn't mention that, but yes, this game is on both PC and phones. I know it's on Android because I've played it a bunch on my Android phone. I'm not too sure on iPhone, but I'm pretty sure it is on iPhone. So anyone who has an iPhone can play it too. I'm pretty sure I played Simian Flu, and I'm pretty sure I beat it, but I can't remember it much. I think I've only done it once. Like everything else, I've done like 3 times because I really enjoyed this game. It's a great game to sit down and play. It's got great strategy elements. It's a good time waster, as I like to call them. Games where you're sitting there being like, well, what do I do for this certain period of time? And you can sit down and play one of these games. The Shadow Plague is new, to my understanding, because I haven't seen this one before, and I think it's relatively new. So, I haven't played that one yet, and we might look into that one in the future, but I was thinking, for the purpose of simplicity, we'll just go with bacteria. I haven't unlocked any of the genes. Haven't unlocked any of the cheats. Not that I would cheat. How dare you accuse me of such a thing. Anyway, we're going to go on normal. Now, last time, I came up with a really good pun for the name, which I thought was absolutely hilarious. And since it was lost to my computer eating it, we're going to go with the same name again. Last time we failed. Hopefully this time we will win. I've learnt from my mistakes. We're going to stay on normal. Specifically, I was on before. I was a bit rusty. We're going with Pickle Rick. We're going to call this disease Pickle Rick. This bacteria, if you look at the shape of it, I looked at this and was like, now what does this remind me of? And the first thing that came to mind, probably because I've been watching lots of Rick and Morty lately and the new season's coming out as we speak. Way to date the episode, but I really enjoyed the latest episode. And if you don't watch Rick and Morty, I highly recommend it. But anyone who has watched Rick and Morty will understand. We're gonna kill humanity with Pickle Rick, guys. Now, welcome to Plague Inc. You are a new bacteria. To win, you must evolve and spread across the world, wiping out all humans in the ultimate plague. So, true to the name, you are aiming to create a plague that spreads across the entire world, and there's a couple of ways to do that. You can try and keep your symptoms low so you're not noticeable and quietly infect the entire human race and then rapidly evolve into becoming lethal, or you can try be a bit more aggressive with your approach and just be lethal relatively early and destroy countries as you go so that the cure doesn't get created. And probably making it a bit faster, because last time I went a bit more in depth, but obviously that episode's lost to the wind, so we're starting again. Starting countries. Now, starting countries, you want to try and go for somewhere with multiple ports if you're going for somewhere separated. So good places to start, I feel like, Australia's a pretty good place to start because you've got multiple ports, but then you're let down on like land spread because it's its own landmass. So I actually think Egypt might possibly be one of the best places, if not the best place to start, from what I learned in my previous episode. But generally anywhere with 2 ports and a connection to a large landmass are pretty good. 3 ports is pretty good too. But this has 3 ports and connection to landmass, which is pretty amazing. But because we're basing it off a Rick and Morty reference, we're going to start in the USA. I normally start in Australia, so we'll go for something different. Last episode, look, I say last episode, the episode I tried to record went horribly wrong. I accidentally started in Spain, because during that explanation, I clicked on Spain and accidentally clicked the little red bubble like I did just then. So Pickle Rick has infected its first human. Weak and unspecialized, it must evolve using DNA points to infect more people. Now, it's important to take note of the country's information. So the USA is an urban country and is also rich. So what that means is that the sort of things we want to look at evolving are things that will help us spread in those environments. So urban regions are susceptible to rodent transmission, as you can see down here, especially in urban regions and mutation. So mutation is increasing the mutation chance that you might automatically evolve a symptom. And then the other one I was going to point out was down here, drug resistance. Because USA is a richer country, they have access to better medicine, so that will slow us down as well. It's a lot of thought and a lot of depth in this game, and it's very strategic, which is one of the main reasons that I absolutely adore it. It's a good thing to just sit down and play and concentrate on. Just take your focus off things for a while. Just have a little bit of I like to call them time wasters, because they are good at just taking up a spot of time where you're like, oh, I've got a bit of time where I've got nothing to do and I kind of wanted to sit down and do something. And this is good because it engages your brain. You have to think and be a bit more strategic about things. So we'll go with rodents. If I apologize if I occasionally get distracted, because I'm trying to think about, I should have read that. I just automatically clicked away. Anyway. This is really funny up here, actually. The news is worth reading. I'll try and remember to read it out for you. Llama collecting the new craze. There's a lot of really just kind of funny, witty comments that just scroll past up here. Global recession will boost obesity rates. Says WHO report. There's occasionally some really clever and funny things that scroll across here. I know my head's in the way. So I'll try to remember to read those out to you as much as possible. I'm trying to remember what we're doing. That's right, drug resistance is because we're in the USA. We want drug resistance and rural spreading, and that'll make us rapidly infect the USA. And then, so my mistake in what I will refer to as the lost episode was not getting lethal fast enough. Pickle Rick is spreading from person to person in the USA and will grow exponentially. You control the plague indirectly by evolving it. So yes, you evolve symptoms, you use the symptoms, you evolve transmission, symptoms, and abilities, and they allow you to develop your disease, which helps you infect more people and then eventually kill more people. Have I mentioned this game's quite morbid? It's quite a morbid game. But fascinating and very strategic, and you can kind of control where things go, like where your disease spreads. based on the based on the transmissions that you evolve and the abilities that you evolve. Because if you evolve more towards heat resistances, you'll spread faster in hotter countries and things like that, which can help a lot. We've got 12. Is there anything we can do with 12? We could perhaps increase air, because air increases... No, it wasn't that one, it was birds. Birds increase land transmission. We might go for birds next. And then we might prioritize going towards water. I'll just speed it up. Might prioritize going towards water so that we can spread across the ocean to this large section of land too. Like Africa and Europe and Asia and stuff. And Australia, most importantly, because I live in Australia. Australia represent. Anyway, I think most of my audience at the moment is in Australia, if not like all of it. Cis symptoms mutated. So yes, as I was saying before about mutation, this is what happens. So occasionally, if your mutation is... certain things will give you more chance of mutation, and I think there are certain types of disease that also have higher mutation chances. I think viruses like rapidly mutate. So then you get a symptom without having to pay points for it. So we managed to get the cyst symptom for free, and you can refund things, and this is also part of where the strategy comes in, because you can choose to devolve symptoms. So if you mutate them, you can choose to devolve them if you want to try and stay like subtle for longer and reduce the chances of you being discovered. And the chances of you being discovered is affected by your severity meter. The more severe you are, the more afraid of you people will be, and the more likely you are to be noticed. So if you're super severe, then suddenly people will be more afraid and more likely to start looking towards doing a cure, which we want to avoid. And when this bar hits 100, it's just downhill from there. It's just, you get wiped out so quickly. We had like, in the last episode, I like infected everyone, and then the cure happened, and I just managed to evolve total organ failure and get super lethal right before that happened, but it still wasn't enough. Find out more about a country, we've already been through that. That's saying, like, to find out more about a country, you can click on it and you can look at the traits of it. It's like Canada is a colder country and rich. Things like that. Rich basically just means better healthcare. Pickle Rick infects hundreds. We've infected hundreds in the USA with Pickle Rick, increasing the chances that an infected person will infect a healthy person. Keep evolving your disease. We will do that. So if we were to develop, like, cold resistance, that would increase our likelihood of spreading up into Canada. These little orange DNA bubbles, I didn't mention what they do. Little orange and red DNA bubbles, when you pop them you get DNA points, as you may have noticed. We've kind of just been doing it automatically out of just reflex. But yeah, there are also, eventually when the cure starts, there are cure bubbles, and we'll probably see those later. And when you infect new countries, you get little red bubbles pop up, which you can pop and get more DNA points as well. So yeah, the entire game is about earning DNA points, which you can get from popping the bubbles and infecting more people, and also by killing more people. And that allows you to evolve your disease, which allows you to spread and therefore infect more people, kill more people, get more DNA, and evolve. It's just a cycle that you go through. So we wanted to get bird because it increases land transmission, and with cold resistance we should hopefully spread it to Canada. Hopefully that's represented here about how you can control it. We'll try to get into Greenland, because Greenland is... Oh, we got to Mexico. We spread downwards to Mexico. There we go. We've infected thousands. Pickle Rick has infected thousands. We're going to wipe out humanity with Pickle Rick. While in the lost episode we may have failed, in the one that's going live we will do it. I'm determined. I'm so determined. I'm trying to concentrate on talking and making the commentary interesting while also reacting to what's happening. We'll get bacterial resilience, which will help us. Bacterial resilience is like a an all-around. It's a special ability of the bacteria, and all of the different diseases have their own. We mutated coughing, not the Pokemon. I've completely lost my train of thought. That's right, bacterial resiliences. All of the different types of diseases have their own special ability. That was just a news report, it's not important. All of the diseases have their own special ability. And for the bacteria, that special ability is bacterial resiliences, which is like all of the hot, cold, we only have a 2.5% chance of wiping out humanity. That's rude. But yeah, the bacterial one is bacterial resilience, which is like the hot and cold resiliences banded together. We have in fact spread up into Canada. That's fantastic. We probably want to go for water transmission so that we can get across the ocean next. That's probably our next goal. Because we have multiple ports here that we could potentially spread out of. That's Central America, sorry, we don't have access to that yet. The Caribbean and Central America we should... We infected Australia! That was a leap. Just plane flew from USA to Australia and infected Australia. That is actually really helpful for us. Because now we have a high chance of spreading up into New Zealand and Asia. We've crossed the ocean. We didn't need to develop water. We spread across the ocean via air. We are spreading a bit faster now. This is good. This is good. This is a good sign. Pickle Rick is more infectious than HIV. We're invading their hearts and their minds. We are going everywhere. Look at us go. I mentioned this again in the lost episode. I'm going to keep referencing the lost episode. I apologize. I'll try to stop doing that. We mutated abscess. We don't want to get too severe that we get noticed. Oh, we're fine. We're fine. Just to say that we get discovered. We need to buy more transmissions and infect more rapidly. We're now in hotter climates. But I feel like this and this and this might be good choices. Because we want to start spreading fast. Look at us go. They're already working on a cure? Already? That's rude. It's not going super fast though. Let's go try and... We could go for genetic hardening to make us harder to research. Let's do that. I am concerned about that now. I can't believe they discovered us that quickly. It took much longer in Spain to get discovered. And we'd like infected most of the planet by then, before people started working on a cure. But it's not going super fast, so things should be okay. Look at us go! Look at all these new countries we're infecting. This is insane! We're infecting new countries so fast! Look at all these points we've got. Let's go for that. We want to try to keep a bit in reserve. We don't want to get too severe, because then they'll start working harder on the cure. We want to keep some in reserve, so that when we need to, we can rapidly evolve to become lethal. No one suspects Pickle Rick! Except the USA. The USA are onto us. They're working on the cure. And no one else suspects Pickle Rick. No one else is scared, but they should be. Pickle Rick will wipe out humanity. We got to Greenland! That's something I was going to say. We're more infectious than the common cold as well. That's great. Greenland and Madagascar. They are awful. They are absolutely awful. They're so hard to infect, but we've managed to do it. Let's get some heat resistance up in here. Let's get... It's 28. I think we're still okay. We do want to try and get down here. Right here is total organ failure, and that's what we want. Come on. Come on. We've been placed on the WHO watch list. We're not very lethal yet. but they're getting a bit worried. Japan shuts down the airports, but it's too late! We've already infected all of Japan. Down here in the world list, we can see where we've infected everywhere. Everywhere is infected, and I think these dark red ones, like Afghanistan and stuff, are where we've completely infected everyone. Look, only 30% of the population is still healthy. I think at this point, we need to start thinking about becoming a bit lethal. But we don't want to be too lethal. Let's go with that. First death from Pickle Rick has been confirmed in the UK. Bad luck or the beginning of something terrible. Oh, I am afraid to tell you that it's the beginning of something awful. Australia has started to send research teams to infected countries, hoping to speed up development of the cure for Pickle Rick. Pop blue bubbles to destroy the research. Now, at the beginning of the episode, I was talking about we've developed paranoia. Beginning of the episode, I was talking about blue bubbles for the cure, and that's what we're seeing right now. There are 2 ways to fight the cure. You can either destroy countries or pop these bubbles. Global research is focused on the cure. Now is the time to kill everyone. Total organ failure. Look how much our lethality jumped. Look how much it jumped. We also need to make sure that we're still infectious. We have enough for a genetic reshuffle if we need it. 25, that's what we want to try and keep. Let's do this as well. Let's see, where are we not? Let's just pause for a moment. We've killed 75 million people worldwide, worse than the Black Death. We're just going to pause real quick. Where is it? Central Africa. It's a not very wealthy... So maybe we should evolve this in poor regions. Just to rapidly spread Sweden. Wow, Sweden's fine! Sweden's just like, we got this. Sweden's okay. How do we rapidly spread through Sweden? How do we touch Sweden? Sweden's just like, oh, we're fine. Sweden's okay. Rich, urban, cold, humid. We could do cold resistance, maybe. Especially in humid. Let's try that. Alright, let's keep going. People are dying in Botswana faster than they're being infected. Hold on. Where's Botswana? Is Botswana in the list of people we've already infected everyone? Where's Botswana? Where is Botswana? Botswana is here. Right. My geography isn't brilliant. Killed more than the Spanish flu. We're killing faster than we're infecting. 25% complete. Haha! Genetic reshuffle. Genetic reshuffle puts the research back, so 26 down to 23. That makes it harder. Argentina begins to break down. Killed more than smallpox. Look at us go. Look at us go. Oh, they're all screwed. Oh, it's just over. It's just over. What's the most lethal thing we can get? What's the most increasing lethality thing we can get? Tumors? Tumors. We're gonna make people look like pickles. Pulmonary fibrosis. Look at all this. Look, let's just go on a rampage. Let's see how lethal we can get. And let's go seizures as well. Let's make people insane. Oh, I think we've done it. I think we got this one. I'm concerned about that though. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Where aren't we infecting? Where aren't we infecting? We need to get super infectious. Hold on. If I've ruined myself. By being too lethal. Where's not infected? I need to evolve some lethal stuff, guys. We went a bit too crazy. Mistakes have been made. Mistakes have been made. Where is okay? That's where I'm curious. Where is Greenland? Of course it's Greenland. Greenland is horrible. Come on. Don't do this to me. Greenland. Greenland. We might have to devolve that. I don't want to. I made the opposite mistake. I went too lethal too quickly. I got excited. But we need to do something. Or we're boned. It's a breakthrough to help cure efforts. That's bad. But most places are dead. Yeah, Australia's dead. It's just here. Oh, we're in trouble here. Anemia without using DNA points. Greenland, you're gonna screw me, Greenland. Greenland, what are you? You are cold and nothing else. Greenland. Greenland! What can we do? The number is still going down. What more can we do? I think we're boned. I can't believe it! We lost again! Pickle Rick! We were too lethal too quickly that time. This game is a lot more strategic than it immediately lets on. But anyway, we'll call that episode here. This one has recorded, I can see it down there, it's fine. So, call that episode here. If you guys enjoyed, let me know down in the comments. Leave a like. It really helps me know what sort of things you guys want to see. If you want to start seeing more stuff like this, let me know. We can go through and try the other disease types. We can maybe check out the Shadow Plague. And yeah, just let me know if you liked it and maybe we can do more. I thought this might be something fun, something different for us to give a go. And if you stuck through to the end of the video, sincerely thank you. Thank you all again for watching. Subscribe if you're not already. And I look forward to seeing you again in the next video. Bye!